Hello, my name is Bill Lindauer. I'm an OCVN, and before I became an OCVN, which is an Ohio Certified Volunteer Naturalist, I was an elementary teacher, and I had taught for almost 35 years, and I retired with a total of 35 years, counting Vietnam and the service and some other things. So at that point, um, I was interested in nothing, but I knew I was graduating, not retiring from teaching. So within, I would say, less than a month, I was exposed to and asked to do the Ohio Certified Volunteer Naturalist Program, and I did that. And I also was taught by one of my third grade students, which is a pretty big thrill for me. She is naturalist for Cedars Creek State Parks Nature Center. Now, what I wanted to do on my property, we had 6 acres that we bought. My wife and I built a house here, and I wanted to plant trees around this cornfield, and that's all it was before we built the house. And I started planting around my property many different trees and shrubs. And then I started planting them in the middle of my property and on the side of my property and all kinds of different places. And just had a great joy doing that. So what I want to do is share a little bit of that with you, and especially how to identify trees in the winter. These trees come from my property. This is a tulip tree, and a tulip tree is a very distinctive tree. It's fairly easy to identify. For one thing, it's straight up. When it grows its trunk, it just goes straight as a die, and it is a huge tree. It's actually the tallest tree in this area as far as how far it grows up. It can grow up past 200 feet. So this is in the center is a leaf of the tulip tree, and it has one of the ways to identify trees is to look for lobes and also for points or sawtooth edges. This has a clean edge, but it has 4 to 6 points on it, and it's fairly distinctive shape. So you will see this and identify it fairly quickly, I think, if you were to see them. Now, up in the upper left corner is the remains of the seed pod, but actually it was created by the flower, and it was pollinated, and these are the seeds that are growing toward the top. You can see a stem below, and that was attached to the twig that this flower came from. The flower does look like a tulip. It's very pretty. It's yellow with an orange base to it, and it is the same, very similar shape anyway to a tulip. Now on the right, you will see that kind of tulip shape on those in the middle there. You will see the remains of some of the seeds that were in a whorl around the base of the flower, and a stem that comes up through it, a pointed stem. Looks like it's pointed like a needle. The pointed stem is the holder for all of the seeds. Now there's only a few seeds left on that thing, but that thing was loaded solid with seeds. So there might be anywhere from, I would say, 50 to 100 seeds, or 50 to 75 seeds in those packets of the flower. And they tend to fall off very slowly, so you can identify the poplar by looking up in the air in a forest. And if you see these cup-shaped, tulip tree-shaped things up and on the branches, you're probably looking at a tulip poplar. On the right are the seeds, and they have a little curve to the end, and that's where the actual plant will emerge when they germinate. And they have a wing, just a single wing that comes out of that. And so when they fall from the trees, they do whirligig a little bit coming down, and that will spread them out, especially if there's a wind. So this is at the bottom, we will see a branch. This is a fairly large stem. At the bottom of the slides, each one of the slides, You will find the common tree name, scientific name, family name, or group, and other info for your reading information.